been working in New York State government for many, many years in creating partnerships between the public and private sector, and I feel this bill is absolutely essential, not only for our families, and I think it's important to stress families, not just women, but for the business community.
That was Congresswoman Nita Lowey as a freshman in 1989, talking about a Family and Medical Leave Act that she was supporting. So fast forward to the present day, and the Congresswoman's wrapping up her 16th and final term. She's retiring once this current session ends. The Congresswoman has too many career highlights to cover here, but I'll try and do the resume justice. The first woman, first New Yorker to chair the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the first woman to chair the very powerful Appropriations Committee, a title she still holds to this day. Congressional Quarterly named her one of the most effective members of Congress. She took a leadership role in securing more than $20 billion in relief funds for New York after 9/11, and she helped Homeland Security get funding to fight terrorism and was a leading figure to fight to increase federal funding for cancer research, Alzheimer's, diabetes, the list goes on and on. And apropos of where we are today, back in 2006, when health experts were warning the U.S. wasn't ready for a possible pandemic, she authored legislation to create a comprehensive plan to deal with an outbreak. That plan called into action during the swine flu outbreak in 2009. Congresswoman Nita Lowey, Democrat from New York, joins us now. Hey, this is going to be a weird Tuesday coming up for you. You don't have to worry, not that you had a tough race for literally this century, but you're not on the ballot. How do you think your party's going to do?
Well, when you said I'm not going to worry, I am glad that I am not up for re-election because it was time for me to retire. I figured I did so much, and it's been such an extraordinary opportunity to serve, but it was time. But I am very, very concerned. President Trump is not serving our community or this nation with distinction. I am very concerned about voter intimidation, voter suppression, foreign interference in early voting. And I have to say that not only is the president tweeting that Philadelphia must have poll watchers, but he continues to encourage his base to take it upon themselves to monitor polling places. Many who are answering this call say they will be armed. This is the United States of America. If this is not voter intimidation, I don't know what is. So additionally, our election infrastructure is in dire need of repair, especially in cities and low-income neighborhoods. These long lines, broken machines, disorganized systems for poll workers have disproportionately affected people of color. And I am very worried about this election.
You know, this should be, I did hopefully your resume justice here. This should be a victory lap for you. Are you concerned that you're leaving Washington, that it's almost unrecognizable to the D.C. that you went to years ago? It's so dysfunctional right now. We could spend an hour on all who's to blame, but are you concerned about the institution itself?
Well, I am very concerned about President Trump in the White House. Let me say this is a threat, not just to my district, but to the nation. This is what concerns me. This man does not deserve to be there, and I surely hope we can have a change and that it will be President Biden. To me, that will change the whole tone of Washington, the Congress, and hopefully things will get done.
For the life of me, the stimulus package, politically, I've never understood the logic. Forget the ethics and the morals and how much it's certainly needed by millions of Americans. Politically, I didn't get why you guys passed this 5 months ago, why McConnell and the president in an election year would have wanted more than anyone to pass this for just pure partisan politics to say they're delivering for people in need. Why is it still sitting on McConnell's desk?
I'll never understand it. He must have gotten orders from the president, but I am shocked because there's so much good in there to stimulate the economy. You would think he would encourage everyone, Democrat or Republican, to vote for it. It's a good bill. I know I work closely with Nancy Pelosi. As you know, I'm still head of appropriations, and it's really a very good bill. And it's very, very sad that the directive to McConnell, because he takes orders from the president, is not to do anything. I don't get it. I don't get it. And when you think over the past few months, what's been going on with coronavirus, we should be expanding access to PPE and testing to maybe make sure we're protecting the public. So I don't get it.
You know, I showed a clip from you when you were a freshman, and it wasn't that long ago that you and other Democrats used to be able to find people across the aisle to work with and get stuff done. Can you remember a time where the parties are so far apart on things right now that it's so hard to find partners that are willing to literally cross the aisle to do things with? I mean, we talk about the Senate all the time, but you saw it in the House too.
Yes, it's correct. But the problem is you have the President of the United States giving directives, and it's very, very sad that there isn't more bipartisanship. But the problem is today, from my perspective, most of them, Republicans, are taking orders from Trump. And if President Trump doesn't want something to happen, McConnell is not going to do it because he doesn't have the guts to be strong. And I worked with him in the past on many different issues. It's sad what's going on.
Finally, Congresswoman, I know you said at the beginning of this, it's time to go. Are you going to miss it? Or has it become so toxic in Washington you can't wait, to just stay in Westchester?
No. I love my job. I love being chair. I love being chair of the whole Appropriations Committee, and my colleagues are so wonderful. But I've served in the Congress for 32 years and decided that it was time to retire. I'll spend more time with my husband, who's my best fan, more time with my 3 children and 8 grandchildren who've been so supported campaign after campaign. I'm very proud of the legislation we've worked on that really improves the quality of life in our communities, keeps us safe, secure, saves lives. So I know my colleagues in the House will continue to work hard for all Americans, and I get to go out on top. So I may be leaving, but there are so many good people who are going to continue.
As I say, as I close out this interview, you could probably tell not only a huge fan of the Congresswoman, but full disclosure, big enough fan that even my oldest daughter interned for the Congresswoman, and you can't give higher praise than that. But thank you so much. I know we'll talk again, but it'll be an interesting Tuesday, and I know you'll be watching.
I sure will, Richard, and thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
You as well.
And best to your daughter.
You got it. And coming up next, the man who almost for sure will be replacing Nita Lowey as the next congressman for New York's 17th district. He'll join us. He's a progressive from the AOC wing of the party, so we'll discuss how he feels about Joe Biden, who doesn't always agree with the Democrats to his left.